Good evening and welcome once again to the second edition of UBC News Tonight. With me, Moureen Babirye and Mohamed Mugalu on sign language. It is the 8th of March 2026. Let's get into our report. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has today returned to Uganda from Arusha, Tanzania, where he had gone to attend the 25th Ordinary Summit of the East African Community Heads of State and Government. During the summit, President Museveni assumed chairmanship of the East African Community, taking over from His Excellency William Ruto, the President of Kenya. On arrival at Entebbe International Airport, the President was received by the Minister for Presidency, Honorable Babirye Mili Babalanda, UPDF Air Force Deputy Commander, Major General David Isimbwa, Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Samuel Akena, and Deputy Inspector General of Police, James Ochaya. President Yoweri Museveni has said there should not be spectators in the drive towards increasing household incomes. He emphasizes that when families get out of poverty, many problems will be solved. He was represented by the Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, at the International Women's Day celebrations in Kololo.
Uganda has commemorated Women's Day with a pointer at government boasting of prioritizing programs that eliminate poverty, empower women to improve their living standards. The Parish Development Model, Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, and Grow Youth Livelihood are all meant to empower women economically. President Museveni, represented by the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, said, when families become wealthy, they will solve many problems at household level.
When families become wealthy, they are able to educate all their children. Therefore, families getting out of poverty is a good base for solving many problems. But wealth and jobs belong to individuals, families, groups, or companies. We should not have spectators in the drive towards increasing household incomes.
On scaling investments to accelerate justice for all women and girls, government has established gender-based violence courts, legal aid services expanded to rural areas, and put in place Equal Opportunities Commission to eliminate discrimination.
The justice sector needs to take deliberate efforts to clear case backlog on defilement and aggravated defilement and gender-based violence, and the judiciary will have to work hand in hand to simplify the processes of the court to make it more friendly to the women.
The representative for development partners and the UN country team say the initiative of special gender-based violence sessions have helped reduce case backlog in courts. They recommend that special attention be put on people at risk of exclusion for justice.
The Development Partners Group, we commend Uganda's continued efforts to strengthen the legal and policy framework for gender equality and the protection of women and girls.
With civil society and cultural and religious leaders, development partners, we will continue to support gender-responsive legal reforms, strengthen gender-based violence survivor-centered services.
Forward to engaging with the women and seeing the products that they have and seeing how we can add value and improve on areas like packaging and branding so that they can access the market in China. So
The National Women Council chairperson Farida Chibowa said, as women, the call on the 12th Parliament is to prioritize review of all bills that are gender responsive and also strengthen affirmative action measures. Some outstanding women entrepreneurs like Lydia Mwesigwa of Mesha Steel have empowered the young women with jobs, while others have come up with innovations to give markets to women banana farmers in Luwero.
As Mesha Steel, we've empowered the young girls to stand in the male-dominated industry. When you come to Mesha, you find 95% the young girls and the women, they are the drivers behind this company. You find them in production, you find them among drivers.
Matoke, people had started cutting it, throwing it, not knowing that it can make wine and you get something out of it. Like if it's big enough, the big one can get 2 jerrycans of wine from it. These 2 jerrycans, each jerrycan, we pay 70 per jerrycan. So in one matoke, a woman gets 140.
I'm Navka Farida and Sana Anet at Kololo.
The State House Special Presidential Assistant on Education, Dr. Grace Kansime Mwesije, has urged all women to promote and advocate for peace in their communities. She was officiating at the International Women's Day celebrations for the Indian Women Association in Kampala. Take a look.
Activities including performances that depict the roles of women in their communities. The Special Presidential Assistant on Education in State House, Dr. Grace Kansime Mwesije, officiated the day's activities and urged women to be promoters of peace in their communities.
And one of the greatest gifts that a woman can do is to create that peace. The world today is full of so many pressures. It is so demanding. There are financial pressures, health pressures, business pressures, social pressures, emotional pressures. But in spite of this, your home should be a haven of peace. Your children depend on you for this security in the home.
The president of the Indian Women Association, Falgun Patel, commended the Indian women for supporting activities that improve the welfare of communities in Uganda.
The development of devotee during the medical camp with the lunch food for all patients and the t-shirts provided by Indian Women Association. In Christmas holidays, I will donate food stuff and the clothes to orphanage and the people living in the slum area in the big numbers with our donor support. We donated 3 sewing machines and a reusable sanitary pad with the student of the Kings of Kings School in Jinja.
The 8th March International Women's Day recognizes the social, economic and political achievements of women while calling for accelerated action towards gender equality.
We take you to Kumi, where environmental conservation activists walking from Moroto to Kampala have taken their campaign to Kumi district. The team joined worshippers at St. Paul's Catholic Church in Kumi during Sunday Mass, where they shared their message of protecting the environment.
The walkers are on a 560-kilometer journey aimed at promoting tree growing and environmental conservation across the country.
We are supposed to protect those places because they contribute a lot to climate change. Our climate and the weather has changed from time and time again because we are cutting down trees, and we are calling upon you, help each one of us to plant the tree so that we restore back what we have lost.
During the sermon, Reverend Father Deogracius Soreangatum urged local authorities to control roaming animals that destroy newly planted trees.
The bylaws within given communities is not working about the preservation of the environment. We have loitering animals, and that is affecting the efforts of many people. People who thrive in planting trees are people who put a fence around their trees, and yet many cannot afford a fence. So the local community, the local administrators, we request you to be strong in these bylaws that will preserve environment.
Lead worker Geoffrey Ayeni encouraged residents to continue planting trees and protecting the environment.
Last night we arrived in Mukura, but we said we should come and pray with you people here. I would like to request the congregation to take back the message of environmental conservation and water protection, and then also let the community and the people you represent know that climate change is real. It is upon us to mitigate the impact.
The group has so far covered more than 200 kilometers of their journey. Benon Mokwaya, Dokas Kimono, UBC News.
Now, Muslim women are guided by values rooted in the teachings of the Holy Quran and the example of Prophet Muhammad. These teachings emphasize faith, dignity, modesty, knowledge, and responsibility in both personal and social life. Take a look.
The teachings of the Quran encourage Muslim women to build a strong relationship with Allah through prayer, reading and reflecting on the Quran, and remembering Allah in daily life. Faith is regarded as the foundation of a Muslim woman's life, guiding her actions and decisions while strengthening patience, gratitude, and devotion.
I call upon women out there to first of all appreciate how far we have come. I appreciate the position.
If we were to celebrate days as women, Muslim women, we would be celebrating almost every other day because our status was put high.
The Quran also teaches modesty for both men and women. For Muslim women, this includes dressing modestly, speaking respectively, and maintaining humility and self-respect in society. Religious scholars say modesty goes beyond clothing and is reflected in person's attitude, speech, and behavior.
Islam as a religion empowered women. That is why even when you look at when a woman is going to get married in the first place, unlike other religions or other cultures, for us it is the woman to determine. First of all, we call it a mahari. I don't know how they call it in English, a mahari. You are the one who asks your husband how much you would wish him to pay you.
Women out there, Muslim women, if you are to go out of your home for any reason, whether you are going to the clinic, whether you are going to the supermarket, whether you are going to work, kindly put on well, cover your body, cover your head, put on long dresses, and move for any reason.
Islam equally emphasizes family and social responsibility. Women are encouraged to show kindness and respect to their parents, maintain healthy family relationships, and care for children and relatives while contributing positively to their communities.
For breastfeeding a child, a man is supposed to pay you a certain amount of money for breastfeeding. It is also said that when a kid is giving his or her dad, they give us times 3 of what is given the dad.
And during this month of Ramadan, time management is really key. Women go home, whether they stay at home or not, they have to prepare food in time because the time of breaking the fast is really uniform and it is standard.
Education is also highly valued in Islam. Muslim women are encouraged to seek knowledge, grow intellectually and spiritually, and use their knowledge to benefit society. Muslim scholar and consultant Sheikhat Ladia Namakula highlighted the importance of balancing professional responsibilities with family life.
First of all, as Muslim women, family is our first and foremost institution that we need to take care of. We do it. And career it is halal to have a career. We Muslim women graduate as nurses, as teachers. We balance it, first of all, by choosing the kind of job that you do. Any job that does not conform with Islamic teachings, we don't go for it, however much. Any job that abuses our rights as Muslim women, we don't do it. Islam looks at your safety. Islam restricts women in movement because of safety. Right from the way we put on.
In Islam, are allowed to work. We are not stopped from working. But what is important is the nature of the jobs. Because much as you're attending to it, much as you're working, your cardinal role is to make sure that your family is in the best way.
She also described the daily responsibilities of Muslim women and their significance within the Muslim community, regardless of the society in which they live.
First of all, you're supposed to look after your kids. You're supposed to breastfeed. You're supposed to help them do domestic chores, so that when you do it. So you also have to do some bit of work, because according to the economy that we are now living in, you cannot leave it only to the husband to work, well knowing that our husbands have multiple.
Islam talks about a woman as a player in capital development, economic development, a player in family matters, actually a key player in family matters.
Meanwhile, the head of the Office of the National Chairman, Hajat Adija Namialo, commended women for their contribution to national development and urged them to appreciate the progress they have made, including their representation in government. And Shekat Namakula also appealed to Parliament and development planners to prioritize women, noting that they make up over half of the country's population.
You are the mothers of today. You are the generation. You are the mothers of tomorrow. You're the true definition of strength of a woman, because you've sacrificed for your children, you've sacrificed for the good of this nation, you have sacrificed your happiness to ensure that you take good care of your children.
I therefore appeal to the legislators first, that as you legislate, as you deliberate in Parliament, just know that the people you are planning for are having 51% women. Those who are the positions that you are giving in Parliament and the country, we humbly request for that consideration.
We have so many women, by the way. Like now we are talking about Hajat Hadija Namialo, who has actually done a very fundamental role, and she has supported this program very well. And she's at a very high rank in terms of, leadership.
She further shared recommendations encouraging women to continue pursuing education, leadership, and community development.
Recommendation, dear women, please, family first. That is where your first mandate is, whether you are married or not married, whether you are a daughter, whether you are an auntie, whether a grandmother, family first. Women, we should be there. Actually, I would propose that we have one year, we shall have a theme that is called Women for Stable Families.
Hajat Adija Namialo also appreciated the leadership of the president for empowering women and creating opportunities for their participation in governance and national development.
Medical students under the umbrella body Federation of Uganda Medical Students Associations, together with the Uganda Medical Association, have raised concern over the government's proposed reform requiring medical students to complete internship before graduation. The groups argue that the policy by the Ministry of Health Uganda could increase the cost of medical training and create delays in academic progression.
The Federation held a consultative meeting with relevant professional bodies, national student leaders, and members of academia. We discovered that none of these stakeholders had been consulted in the development of the proposed policy.
Many students in Uganda are sponsored by government schemes, private institutions, and individual benefactors who committed to funding a 5-year course of study. An unanticipated 6th year may be covered under existing sponsorship agreements, potentially leaving students financially stranded through no fault of their own.
Where are they going to get that money from? How will they not yield to the temptation of extorting money from the patients? So in our interaction with His Excellency, we were able to put this case forward, but again, when it came to implementation, I think out of respect of His Excellency, they implemented the 2.5, then they cut it back, and they want to cut it back completely. We are seeking for audience with you, Your Excellency. Please call us, give us 1 day, 2 days, let us sit on your feet and hear our words, Your Excellency.
The implications of these policies gaps are far-reaching. For the nursing and midwifery profession, prolonged unemployment, financial hardship and emotional strain and uncertainty risk discouraging talented individuals from practicing careers in healthcare.
We are not going to run to the streets. We are not going to put our clinical coats on the hangers. We are going to sue you. This time round, we have got legal representation and we are going to take you on. Fortunately, the orchestrators of this have done it in a very shambolic manner. There are very many gaps in whatever they've done. We're going to take you on.
Still in health, the ministry, in partnership with the Bunyoro Kingdom, the Carter Center, and other local and international partners, on 5th March 2026 commemorated World Neglected Tropical Diseases Day in Nyantozi, Sub-County Masindi District. Held under the theme Unite, Act, Eliminate, the commemoration emphasized the need for global solidarity, immediate action, and sustained commitment to ending the suffering caused by more than 20 neglected tropical diseases that affect over 1.5 billion people worldwide.
Ideally, this day is supposed to be held or commemorated on the 30th of January, but we did not commemorate it that day because Uganda was in the period of elections.
Held under the theme Unite, Act, Eliminate, the commemoration emphasized the need for global solidarity, immediate action, and sustained commitment to ending the suffering caused by more than 20 neglected tropical diseases that affect over 1.5 billion people worldwide. Leaders from the Ministry of Health, officials from Bunyoro Kingdom, development partners, health workers, and community members gathered in Nyantonzi Sub-County in Masindi District to mark World Neglected Tropical Diseases Day.
It is now to increase the awareness that much as we have controlled the disease, people have to be vigilant. We have to strengthen surveillance because the disease can come back.
Presiding over the national ceremony, the Kingdom's Prime Minister pledges full support towards the total elimination of major NTDs in the country.
In 2017, His Royal Highness, the King of Bunyoro, decided to make changes in the kingdom on how we do business. And so he decided that his vision was by 2030, Bunyoro Kisara Kingdom should be a prosperous and great kingdom. And one of the partnerships we had was the Ministry of Health, and we signed an MOU to work together.
NTDs include illnesses such as bilharzia, river blindness, elephantiasis, and intestinal worms, among others, which are commonly linked to poor sanitation and unsafe water. In Uganda, millions of people remain at risk of these diseases, particularly in rural communities located near rivers and areas with limited sanitation facilities.
One of the interventions is wash. Wash is people have to use the clean water and also improve hygiene and sanitation.
Development partners, including the Qatar Center, promise to maintain the fight through efforts aimed at controlling and eliminating neglected tropical diseases.
The Carter Center is an NGO that has been supporting Ministry of Health Uganda since 1996. And this was support to neglected tropical diseases, mainly guinea worm and river blindness.
As the commemoration draws to a close, the stage joyfully belongs to the community drama groups, voices of the people, telling the people's stories.
In other news, men have been urged to stand by their families, guide and mold family members into a people of God. The Phaneroo Ministry's International 9th edition of the Men Gather Conference targeted men as heads of families to offer the ultimate sacrifice in their lives. Take a look.
The Men Gather Conference has empowered men to become better husbands, fathers, and leaders in their communities, mentor young boys to bridge the gap of responsible male leadership.
Selfishly. So when men learn to live surrendered lives, they're able to receive from God, who is the ultimate father.
Right.
And in that, they'll be able to affect their families, their wives, their children, and the nation at large.
Amen.
So it all starts with God. No man can have a vision of what they ought to be without having the ultimate vision, which is God, the ultimate father, because it's the true essence of love.
The Nigerian guest pastor, Poji Oyomede, took to the podium and recalled men to reclaim their position in God's creation at the center for emphasizing choosing of obedience.
Is that God, Katonda, wants men to carry his word inside his kingdom.
Apostle Grace Lubega encouraged men to operate in their divine and potential to avoid being confined by traditional and societal limitations.
So many of us, if God does not help, we will die with frustrated potential. What you could have been and could have done, but were not able because your heart has not reached that place.
During the gathering, Lubega urged men to become pillars of sacrifice, noting that true commitment often requires selflessness and obedience to God.
That there is a difference between a man whose ministry God makes the choices and a man whose ministry where he still makes the choices.
The annual
Now, Uganda's forests are widely known for their wildlife, from primates to rare bird species, but scientists now say some of the country's most valuable treasures are not animals, but plants. Across ecosystems like Mabida forests and Bodongo forest, researchers describe a living pharmacy that provides remedies for disease. With growing population pressures and increasing demand for land, the balance between development and conservation is delicate. In this report, scientists and conservation authorities, biodiversity decline, risks Uganda's loss of not just trees, but life-saving medicines.
So we need to control the destruction of forests and urbanization or development.
A renowned pharmacologist, managing director of Jenna Herbal Limited and lecturer at Mbara University of Science and Technology, Professor Patrick Ogwang, has spent decades researching herbal medicine. His interest in medicinal plants began in childhood.
So what inspired me is that growing up as a child in Soroti, we used to take these herbal medicines. My mother would make them for us when we were sick, and the following day you're back to school. Unlike these days whereby you go to hospital, you take a week to recover, those days for us will recover in one day.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, Professor Ogwang and his team developed Covidex, a herbal formulation derived from indigenous plants including eucalyptus, lemongrass, and wabogia. The product gained national and international attention as many people sought alternative supportive remedies.
These plants are medicinal. Imagine if Zankuzalam and Wabuga were not there in 2021, we would have died because of COVID. When COVID came, what saved us are the plants.
Among his innovations is Atavo, a plant-based anti-malarial developed from Artemisia and other local species. According to him, consistent use of such formulations has helped reduce malaria recurrency among users.
The medicine for malaria prevention, which we made in two versions, at Atavo, which are now being manufactured by Day Pharma Limited, and Genamal, which we are still manufacturing.
He warns that expanding sugarcane plantations, charcoal burning, and infrastructure projects are threatening medicinal species that once thrived in Uganda's forests.
Mabira forest used to have the medicinal plants we needed. Cytopsis, which is for manpower, Wabugia, which is for making Covidex, Tanzalum, all those plants were there, but now they are gone. I was in the Budongo forest. They also attacked it. So we need to reserve the forest. I want to ask my friend again, President Museveni, you are the one who restored Mabira forest. He told us one time that he had cut it off, he restored it. Please, I request you to use your authority. Let those forests be restored.
Professor Ogwang is now planting more than 20 acres of medicinal trees with plans to expand further, encouraging Ugandans to treat tree planting as both environmental protection and a long-term health investment.
My interest is in medicinal plants and aromatic plants, and I want to encourage all Ugandans not to destroy those plants. But also, when you grow some of these plants, you earn money. During the time of COVID, people in Bushenyi earned over 200 million.
Traditional medicine researcher and CEO of Prof Bioresearch Company, Professor Julius Nyanzi, described Uganda as uniquely endowed with biodiversity, a distinction once famously noted by Winston Churchill, who called it the Pearl of Africa.
When we look at Uganda, Uganda is gifted by nature. And I've written a number of books in relation to our biodiversity. When you read my books, Money Grows on Trees, I'm trying to highlight the values and the potential we can tap from Mother Nature.
According to the World Health Organization, nearly 8% of people in Africa rely on traditional medicine for primary health care.
For example, they have used the bitter leaf, umluruza, they have used aloe vera, they have used things like omtete, citronella, if you go to rural areas.
Yet experts warn that several indigenous medicinal trees are becoming scarce due to overharvesting, urbanization, and road construction.
We have lost a greater part of our biodiversity, especially plants and animals. In this country of ours, people don't give a lot of value to replanting or reforestation.
He advocates value addition as the key to conservation. Instead of cutting trees for timber or charcoal, communities can extract essential oils, manufacture mosquito repellents, produce cosmetics, and develop standardized herbal capsules.
So for me, what I can propose, we can conserve at the same time, add value, what we call constructive value, not destructive value. When you get a tree like Prunus africana, for us, we make incense oil from the sap.
Professor Nyanzi is also calling for government policies that support farmers cultivating medicinal species such as Prunus africana, widely used internationally in process treatment, so that Uganda benefits from processing and exporting finished products rather than raw materials.
We need to wake up. It's high time. China realized it and they integrated their traditional medicine into their health care. The reason is why they have not given us an opportunity, because we have much of what they don't have.
The Uganda Wildlife Authority says protected areas are not only habitats for animals, but reservoirs for medicinal plant species.
In this case, when you're talking about wildlife, you're talking about flora and fauna. And our protected areas, I can say, a reservoir of rich plants, and I would like to call it maybe a living laboratory.
Uganda Wildlife Authority carries out regular patrols to curb illegal harvesting, monitors invasive species, and enforces conservation laws. However, conservation efforts go beyond enforcement.
We are undertaking working closely with communities, because we know that if we don't work closely with the communities, we certainly cannot succeed. We share with them local revenue from the parks. 20% of our local revenues go to communities so that they are able to have an income.
The scientists are calling for stronger forest protection policies, large-scale planting of medicinal trees, increased research and clinical validation of herbal medicine and greater integration between traditional and conventional healthcare systems. Mutonyi Hilda and Setumba Douglas, UBC.
Thank you, Mutonyi and Douglas, for that detailed report. Now, UBC News Tonight will take a short commercial break and return.
Somchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165 *80# or use the Momo app.
Welcome back from the break. In more news, Uganda's women have been advised to strike a balance between their households and careers in order to avoid tensions in families that usually lead to gender-based violence. Let's take a look.
Women's Day celebrations at Life Restoration Ministry in Bujuko, Nasana started with a service graciously led by Pastor Kenneth Kato, who was eloquent in his sermon.
But however much Satan has wrath over man, man has God. You have God who always stands on your behalf. And that is why you see, when you are in trouble, the psalmist has said that the Lord stretches out his hand.
Later, Life Restoration Ministry hosted women to a celebration that had an all-women panel that discussed several issues on the theme of balanced woman.
It should depend on your human ability, on your planning, on your expertise. You will crash. Depend on the Holy Spirit.
The Balanced Woman Fellowship at the Life Restoration Ministry of Bujuko was a powerful gathering designed to inspire, equip, and uplift women in their spiritual, personal, and social lives.
But is that how we want to be remembered, that it is your body getting you places? Please note that it also has a limit. But also, how do you want to be known? As in, oh, you want a free pass? She will give you leg. Excuse my choice of words. But women, girls, we are capable of so much. The sky is the limit. Believe in yourself. Trust in God. With God, everything is possible.
It brought together women from different backgrounds to learn how to live a balanced life rooted in faith, purpose, and wisdom. The fellowship focused on helping women understand the importance of balancing different aspects of life, such as faith, family, work, and personal well-being. Through teachings, discussions, and testimonies, participants were encouraged to grow spiritually and develop practical skills that help them become strong and confident women in their homes, churches, and communities. During the fellowship, women were reminded of their value and identity in God.
All these women you see did not imagine one thing. Amen? They did not just wake up and imagine. They all started from somewhere, but it needs you to start from somewhere. And where do you start from? It is that place of prayer. It is that place of consistency. It is that place of belief. It is that place of faith. Because she said, believe in yourself. Declare. Pastor this afternoon has been telling us about the power of declaration.
They were empowered to overcome life challenges, strengthen their relationships, and pursue their dreams with faith and determination. The session often included teachings on character, leadership, emotional healing, and the role of women as pillars of the families and society. It also created a supportive environment where women can connect, share experiences, pray together, and build meaningful friendships. This sense of community helped participants feel encouraged and motivated to live purposeful lives. Overall, the fellowship at Life Restoration Ministry Bujuko was more than just an event. It was a platform for transformation. It nurtured women to become spiritually grounded, emotionally strong, and socially impactful, enabling them to shine as balanced women who positively influence their families and communities.
In other news, the Minister for Disability Affairs, Helen Asamo, has pledged to support the establishment of stronger laws to help organizations that care for children with disabilities and those without families. The minister was concluding a tour of childcare homes in and around Kampala.
Among the facilities visited were Missionaries of the Poor in Namugongo, Missionaries of the Poor in Masanafu, and the Game Foundation in Wakiso. The visit was assessing homes operations and the challenges they face. The minister visited the Missionaries of the Poor home in Masanafu before concluding her visit at the Game Foundation in Wakiso. The minister inspected sanitation and general cleanliness of the premises and also assessed the number of children being cared for at the centers.
See here, there is a social aspect to make the children look like they are okay. Now look at this small baby whose intestines are out and is being carried, and I was like, oh my God, this one, if it was in our village, maybe it would be dead. But it's still alive here, and you have prepared it for an operation. I think for me, that's a very good thing, and we want to appreciate the partnership. But as government, we shall try our level best. We are also learning. I'm not ashamed to say it. We are learning. It is something that it is like any area.
Leaders of the institutions appealed to the government to waive or reduce taxes on essential items used in caring for the children.
And we have so many challenges as a home, especially when we are dealing with people with multiple disabilities. You know, things to do with medication. Most of them are on medication, lifetime medication.
The head of the Game Foundation, Joan Nabasumba, said government regulations limit their operations while assisting children who need.
Without structured transitional care arrangements, such as assisted living, these children face a high risk of neglect, abandonment, homelessness, and preventable medical complications.
Meanwhile, a beneficiary at Missionaries of the Poor, Penina Nakandi, shared how her life improved after being taken in and supported by the organization.
Abantu mwenna abaliko obulemu bw'oba ofunye omukisa nga guno ng'ofunye abantu abakwatako togujaajamya genda mu maaso kubanga ffenna tuli baana ate naffe abantu abaliko obulemu.
News coming in from Kasese, the Bishop of South Rwenzori Diocese, the Right Reverend Nason Baluku, has challenged the Rwenzori communities living and working in Kampala to market Kasese for sustainable development.
The visiting Bishop of South Rwenzori Diocese has said Kasese community for setting up God's prayer altar in Kampala, where all the people of the mountain share as a Christian family. The bishop asked Christians to embrace education as a key to development and the fear of God.
In helping our people, both young and old, that come from Kasese and its surrounding, especially the Lukonzo-speaking people, that they can come together, one, know each other, two, pray for one another, but three, do mission and evangelism to our young men and women that came to Kampala without well positioned.
The fellowship coordinator, Professor Edson Karenjo, said the fellowship was established for all people who hail from the Rwenzori region working in and around Kampala.
The way we support one another when there are good times to celebrate. We support one another when there are bad times. We mourn together, we grieve together, but also rejoice together. So people have found it as a very, very, very strong spiritual and social support group.
The fellowship has achieved as a team and supports many members.
We want to put accommodation so that people from our diocese who visit Kampala can get a place where they can rest from. We can also use it maybe for functions like weddings, seminars, so that we generate money.
The head of Leyte, Mwesige Fred, said he will deliver the project investment plans, which will also benefit the youth.
Is to add on the building block of the outgoing executive committee to ensure we complete our project of building a community center in Chigoma, which is already in progress, but also to include the youth, to ensure we look out for the youth and make sure these youth are empowered to be able to take over from us.
Bishop Baruku visits the Kampala Kasese Christian Fellowship every year to consolidate his mandate as a prelate.
Government has been urged to increase absorption of trained health workers to improve healthcare service delivery. A call was made at the College of Health Sciences, Makerere University, held at Hotel Africana under the theme Celebrating a Century of Excellence, Shaping the Future.
Principal of the college, Professor Bruce Chirenga, says many qualified health workers remain unemployed despite shortages in the health facilities.
Created an issue of an apparent oversupply of health professionals. So many, about 42,000 nurses are on the street, and many doctors are on the street. But in the health facilities, there are no health professionals to serve the people. So our call to government is to increase the absorption of the people that we are training in the market.
College Public Relations Officer Hajat Zam Sali says the institution has played a major role in training medical professionals who serve both locally and internationally.
It's a milestone. We've achieved a number of things over the years, lots of innovation. We've been a backbone of the health system in this country and beyond, having our products working within the health system in Uganda and across the border.
Students' leaders also welcomed the dinner, saying it strengthens unity among the students and alumni.
As you've seen, over the past 100 years, CHS has been the flag bearer of Makerere University and also in Eastern Central Africa. And we think in the next 100 years, it will be much bigger than we have done in these past 100 years. So this means a lot to us as the students.
This celebration is more than just a dinner. It's a celebration of continuity. They say old is gold, and that's exactly what's happening here. We are experiencing the golden years of our College of Health Sciences. And as a student, I'm definitely impressed and very excited to celebrate.
Funds raised during the dinner will support expansion of the Davis Lecture Theatre at Makerere University.
Now, elsewhere in the world, more than 15 ambassadors and high commissioners have met in Canberra, Australia, to discuss gender equity and women's leadership in global governance. The diplomatic reception, hosted at Uganda's ambassadorial residence, brought together members of the diplomatic corps and international missions.
Hello. 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 Good to see you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pleasure. Tukubiriza abakyala bonna era nga wetubadde wano tubadde n'abakyala bambasada bannange abakyala nga bangi nga boolabye enamba era n'abakyala abalala abakola emirimu ez'enjawulo bakyala abali mu bizinensi bakyala bannayuganda ababeera wano abawangalira wano abakyala tetwali nga twenyigira nnyo mu byobufuzi abakyala nga batono nnyo okubeera nti twenyigira mu bikulaakulanya ensi ebyamaguzi naye okusinziira kati nga gavumenti eno we yajja mu buyinza gavumenti yaffe ya Uganda nekubiriza omukyala okuva emabega kubanga twali tumanyi nti emirimu zaffe za kubeera mufumbiro okufumba mmere nakuleeta ku mmeeza kulabirira abaana naye gavumenti eno yatuwa omukisa nga bakola ebbago eteeka ebbago kubeera nti bateeka omukyala naye abeere nti yenyigira mu mirimu ezikulaakulanya ensi ebyobufuzi kati we tubeera wano tubeera tujaguza abakyala abatuwadde ekyokulabirako.
In the council, we have a lot of women leaders, So I'm like the peak leader, but I can't work alone, You have to be together, you have to be many. So the sort of things that we do, we offer a lot of counseling and talking to women, empower them, because a lot of us are professionals as well. So we try to get them to know that, whatever they dream, they can do it. Myself, I'm a geophysicist, so I can empower women to choose topics.
International Women's Day is a big deal for me in particular. Yeah. Because there's lots of issues that women really face. But I just want to highlight the fact that, highlight and then thank the High Commissioner, Her Excellency Dorothy Yuha, for all the great work that she's done with us, with the community, myself. Because of my experience with breast cancer, I decided to start an initiative fundraising for breast cancer for Australia and Uganda. So we have raised funds in conjunction with the High Commission. Her Excellency has supported me through this initiative right from the time that I introduced the idea to her. She's been there for me. She's raised for the community funds for the community. She's participated. She's even helped us. All these events are hosted at the High Commission.
In a new development, the District Health Officer, Buyikwe District, Alan Katamba Semakula, is concerned over the increasing number of hearing disease cases in the district caused by pregnant mothers' failure to attend antenatal clinics and excessive noise pollution in communities. She was speaking at the district commemoration of Hearing Day at Kawolo Hospital in Lugazi Town Council, where many patients received free treatment for ear, nose and throat diseases.
Enables relationships, hearing enables education, hearing enables employment and culture to continue. Yet hearing loss remains one of the most neglected health issues, not only in Buyikwe but globally. Parents and caregivers to seek prompt care when a child has ear pain. Parents, when a child has ear pain, when a child has discharge or delayed speech, please bring these infants for routine health checks. That is the only way we can save these infants as we move forward. Everybody to ensure that we protect hearing through vaccination and maternal child health. Immunization remains a very powerful preventive measure. So full uptake of routine immunization protects children from illnesses that cause permanent hearing loss. So we urge every parent to ensure that their children are fully immunized, and also these parents should ensure to attend routine antenatal care for them to be assisted.
One of the causes also of these children who have hearing problems are right from pregnancy from their mothers. I call upon all mothers to do antenatal care right from when they get to know that they are pregnant up to when they give birth to these children. Because some of these hearing loss problems are from childbirth. A child is born with that problem. So I encourage all mothers to attend antenatal care to avoid these common problems.
Tusaba ne department ya ENT efuulibwe department nga it's standing on its own. Not an annex just somewhere in the corner. Because
now, women from various born-again churches under the banner of Carios Covenant Ministries gathered for an empowering conference organized by Homemakers Women Ministry. The conference focused on the role of women in building strong homes in line with God's teachings under the theme, Heed on How to Build.
I'm very happy to be part of this gathering. Homemakers, I'm a homemaker. I've learned a lot, but I've learned that home is not just a place we stay. I've learned that home is more than a place. It's who we are, what we do.
Olw'okubanga tuli ku lunaku lw'abakyala, kati tuvuddeyo ng'obuweereza buno okusomesa omukyala abeere oyo omukyala ali mu birowoozo bya Katonda ng'omulamwa gwaffe we gukola ki we guli. Omukyala Katonda gwe yateesa olubereberye kubanga ennaku zino tulina abakyala abali nga famire ze zibatonzeewo oba mikwano gye oba ensi.
Looking at a woman in God's mind and the woman that the culture has created. Today we have learned a lot. We have learned how to listen, to be submissive. There are very many things we do right now as women that is not helping us, making us failures in life. We are failing to our children. We are failing to our husbands. So today we have learned to listen to our children, to make our home a peaceful place.
Tuyinza okuzimba omukyala oyo Katonda gwe yatonda mu kifaananyi kye. Tukizudde nti omukyala aliwo ennaku zino ekifaananyi ky'omukyala ekiriwo ennaku zino kyafa. Abakyala beekolera bye baagala, boogera bye baagala, balowooza bye baagala. Naye tukizudde nti waliwo omukazi Katonda gwe yatonda mu kifaananyi kye asobola okukolera ddala Katonda nga bw'ayagala.
So Mukyala.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Parents have been urged to support their children in promoting and discovering talents as part of the core curricular activities. During the one-day children chess game competitions organized by the Rotary Club of Kampala City, over 20 children have participated and winners have been awarded medals. Evasta Kahunde Bugeiga, the President Rotary Club of Kampala City, highlighted the benefits of encouraging children in core curricular activities while they're young.
The black pieces.
Today we chose chess because chess helps our children in critical thinking, and it also helps them know that every move has a consequence. It's not just about having fun, but it's also about learning. The children are doing things that enhance their memory, enhance their mind, and help them improve on critical thinking and sequence. So that's what we are doing here today, and we'd like to invite anyone who would like to register their children next year. We hope to have this annually and hope that next year it will be even bigger and better. As one of the extracurricular activities, it helps in improving the child's mind, tactical thinking, so many ways. So maybe I'd call upon having chess in schools as a game that's compulsory. It doesn't need much. You don't need to buy your child's boots or whatever. It's just a board and a chess pieces. To the parents out there, sign up your children for chess tournaments. Sign up your children for, you'd never know where their skill lies.
Encouragement to all parents out there, guardians, schools, that let's tap into the talent at an early age. 3 years, 4 years, you'll be shocked what these kids can do on the chessboard. One of the core benefits is that, among other things, chess is a game that helps the children focus, listen more, and even it has been proven that it has contributed to their academic performance.
Board 7 white is Marie Esiana Efata.
And that wraps up our 10 p.m. bulletin on this Women's Day. But the conversation does not end here. Continue nurturing and protecting the women in your communities, because our society's welfare heavily depends on it. That'll be all. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. My name is Moureen Babirye with my colleague Mohamed Mogalu on sign language. Good night.